going to go through a upper, middle, and lower back rollout routine, starting with the upper back. We're going to take the roller, position it in the upper back, up by the shoulder blades, hug the arms across the body, and just work along the spine, letting the roller dig into the muscles of the upper back and scaps. From there, I'm going to work more into the middle T-spine. From this position, I got the roller pinned on the back, and now I'm going to work some motions where I'm arching and opening, and then rounding using the roller as a pivot point. Stretching it back over the top, rounding, and using that pivot point. After I complete it on the middle back, I'm going to work down into the lower back. From the low back position, I'll start off by rolling it out. After rolling out, bring the knees up towards the top and kind of shift the focus from side to side or edge to edge. So now I'm working a little bit more lateral into those lower back muscles. To complete it, I'm going to reset back to the ground, bring one knee up, and work kind of a slow march, tapping the heel on the ground. Now again, creating some movement, shifting and changing the pressure into the low back. This low back alignment exercise works excellent with a belt squat or a pitch shark. If you do not have one, you can also use a weight belt, as demonstrated here, to be able to put the weight hanging off the hips, and now I'm in a position to line up the pelvis. So I'm going to arch back, let the pelvis tilt, and then lock forward, squeeze, and hold the pressure on the glutes. Let it round back, arching the back, lock the hips forward, squeezing the glutes. Kneeling barbell spinal rotation. So I'm going to start with the barbell right across my chest. Arms are going to be pulled up overhead. I'm going to bend to the side and roll under the barbell. Open all the way up. Bring it back to square, and then I'm going to retrace it in the opposite direction to the side. Roll under the bar. Open it all the way back up. And square. I'm trying to keep my elbows open the best that I can as I go through, and notice I repeat the rep in each direction for one rep. For the second set, I would switch feet, and now I have the opposite leg in front as I work the exercise to both sides on set 2. For the cat-cow exercise, I'm going to start from the all-four position, making sure that my hands are supported under the shoulder, my knees are supported underneath the hips. Here, I'm going to round out the spine, tuck the chin down to the chest, and then arch it back, tipping the head up. Very important that as I move, I control my breathing. Breathing in, breathing out, and then my head moves in alignment with my spine. I'm going to demonstrate 2 core mobility, even stability-based exercises. So we're going to set up for the dead bug first on the back, 90 degrees, toes up, arms are up straight. The most important part of this exercise is that the low back is flexed tight to the ground. From here, I'm going to reach, opposite arm, opposite leg, pause it, stabilize, control it, and bring it back up to the top. Same thing, reach, opposite arm, opposite leg, pause, control, stable, resetting, back to the start. The other exercise that pairs well with this or accomplishes similar goals is I'm working back from the all-four quadruped position. Core is locked in tight, and I am now reaching opposite arm, opposite leg from this kneeling Superman position. Reset back to here, core is locked in tight. Opposite arm, opposite leg. Paused and controlled at the top. Reset back to the starting position. For the body saw plank, I will set up in the regular plank position, but now I'm going to try to slide forward and backwards, keeping the body parallel to the floor. I just need a towel or something that would slide across a smooth surface. I'm setting up in the plank position, square from here, reaching back, return to neutral. Reach back, return to neutral. Keeping the core tight and not allowing the spine to arch despite reaching back with more tension. We work a band Pavlov press iso rotation. So once I press it, I'm going to hold in the position. So I'm set up right from here. I've pulled the band into my chest to start, but then I'm going to press out and hold the tension through the core, fighting to keep it down the middle for the duration of the set. Good. For this kettlebell series of exercises, we're going to work on some lateral flexion in the core, some stability while we're working into the traps, and then also unilateral stability while walking with the weights. The first one that we're going to do is pick the kettlebell up, and we're going to work a side bend, hand on the hip, to the side, to neutral, to the side, to neutral. Once we complete our reps there, we're going to keep the core tight. Now stabilize under a little bit of fatigue and work into a single arm shrug. Completing the single arm shrugs, we are going to walk forward, fighting to keep the core tight and stable in that forward walk. This is a child's pose stretch, but we're going to do it with band assistance. So I'm going to step into the band, work the band around the hips, walk it out into tension, relax my feet, and then let the band help me sit back into that deep stretch through the low back. From this position, I can also work to the side and stretch into the lats on either side, or sit to the side to work a little bit more lateral into the stretch, depending on the hip that I'm sitting to. If I want to work more into a groin stretch, I can perform the same exercise, open the hips, stretch into the low back, but now with the hips open, it becomes more of a hip and groin stretch.